we hear all of the time in popular culture about not being rich. Don't chase the money, right? You hear people talk about this all the time, and I really rail against this. And if you don't think this, I'm happy to have the conversation with you. But for me and where I came from, which was a poverty-stricken background, if somebody would pay me $15, I'd go work there over the people that were paying me $13.50. It didn't matter what the job was as long as I made more money. And so that chase for more and more money, certainly I wanted to be successful, and it was a big part because I wanted the cars, and I wanted my kids to have a better life, and I wanted to live in a real house and not have to move every year, and all of the things that we had to do when I wanted food, right? I wanted to be able to eat, go on vacation, all of those things. And so for me, making money is the impetus. Eating food was the impetus for me to get out and strike out on my own and try to become, something more than what I was at 28 years old. Was the experience the same for you? What drove you? And again, with that comes cars, and I wanted, special things. What drove you? What pushed you? Do you agree with that or not?
I do agree. I think that there's two things. There's people that think that they want the money just because they think it's going to find happiness. And I think you'll agree that there's no happiness because you have money. You and I both know guys
Right.
are fucking miserable with multi-millions of dollars in the bank. They're suicidal and depressed, and they're seeing their shrinks. Money will not buy you happiness. If you're listening to this, money will not buy you happiness. You got to fix what's internal first. You got to fix what's causing you to feel unhappy right now. Because I can always remember, even when I was broke, I wasn't like an asshole or like anxious. I was just broke, but I actually was an optimist and I always believed that something was going to improve. And I knew that it was really up to me. I needed to put my head down and get to work and work 3 jobs sometimes to get there. But I never complained about that. And it's kind of funny because, with the beauty of Facebook, we still can relate to people like with our high school and things like that. And people would come back to me and go, dude, I remember when we played football together, like our moms would drop us off and you would ride your bicycle 5 miles to practice. And then you go for 2 days, you'd ride your bicycle back and forth, and we'd pass you by and always felt bad because you're riding your bicycle to practice. And I'm sitting in the air conditioner with my mom. And he goes, but you know what I liked about you is you never complained about it. You just
Yeah.
showed up.
Right.
And it's like, dude, I never, you kind of like taken aback when you get that kind of feedback 30 something years later, but it's realized that, dude, I've always been the same. I thought everybody operated like that. It was just me, and it's like, wow, okay. And then I actually brought that up to my mom probably about 3 months ago. She started crying, and she goes, we wanted to take you. My dad, your dad told me, that he just needs to do it himself. And, she goes, I always felt bad. She felt inferior to the other moms because she could have took me, but my dad was like, hey, if you want to go play football, you just need to go do your thing and go practice. We're going to support you. Just go do that.
Right.
And I didn't think I was an option. Like I didn't go, well, mom, the other kids are taking me to. So you think about that. It's like I didn't have money, but I was always an optimist. So that's something that I had going for me. I definitely went through a depression era of my life, but I came out of that as well. The thing is that so many people chase the money just because they think they're going to fix something that's internal that they're missing. So if you're listening to this, make sure you fix what's broken, because if you're miserable now, you're just going to be a rich, miserable fuck. That's all you're going to be, man.
That's right.
So think about that. So for me, yeah, I definitely like the lifestyle. Definitely like the things that we have to do. I like to have the options. I'll tell you that actually had more gray hair back when I was in college because I was broke and I was sleep deprived and stressed out and studying, and it was just a miserable time of my life. When people tell me they enjoyed college, I look at them like, well, you must have had a fucking scholarship.
Yeah,
Or
right.
parents had paid for it, or you had a very easy degree. I had none of those. So I was broke, stressed out, and just like anxious, and I had gray hair. And dude, I was like, this is not, what I want to be. I don't want to be like this. Like, how do I get out of that? I need to make some more money. So it's exactly like he was a motivator to kind of get away from that discomfort.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I've said it many times on the podcast that if you're miserable poor, you're going to be miserable rich. It doesn't matter.